Awesome. All right, it's getting a little chilly out there. I had to cover up. I'm getting a little cold, but we're going to keep this as hot as possible. Now, up next, we have Wavvest. Wavvest is the modern operating system for the next gen of advisors. Is that you? But really, it lets advisors vibe code financial plans using natural language, making complex planning feel effortless. I love this word, vibe code. So with Wavvest, you'll deliver better advice to more people with this fully end-to-end operating system. It covers it all: planning, investing, estate, insurance, and tax all together. So Wavvest, show us what you got.
Thanks, Diana. Hey everybody, I am Brendan King. I'm one of the co-founders and the CEO at Wavvest. And today we're going to start with a little story. So imagine it's a beautiful summer Friday in my home city of Chicago. I'm sitting at my desk ready for the weekend, and then boom, just a fat stack of investment statements ends up on my desk. And my boss goes, "All right, Brendan, this is where you earn your relatively small salary. I need a full transition proposal, financial plan, portfolio analysis on my desk by Wednesday." So I'm going to spend my weekend entering tickers into a spreadsheet. I'm going to spend my weekend manipulating clunky financial planning software, piecing together a bunch of stuff from different sources to create this plan. Now, just 2 years prior to this, I had just wrapped up a 5-year professional soccer career where I was playing soccer in Europe in Major League Soccer. Now I'm sitting in a cubicle entering tickers into the spreadsheet on the weekend. This is not exactly how I drew my life up. So I want to ask you guys a question. What if it didn't need to be that way? What if instead of that clunky process, we could just tell software exactly what we want to see modeled out, exactly what we're trying to achieve, and that's exactly what we can build, right? The software can just build whatever we tell it. Well, that's the reality that we're envisioning at Wavvest, and that's what I'm going to show you today with our Wavvest planning tool. So I've got my colleague in the back, Simon. Simon, let's pop into the tool here. We've got a sample brokerage statement that we're going to enter in here, and then Simon's going to copy and paste a natural language prompt into the chat box here. So we'll talk a little bit in a second about what's going on with this prompt. So we've asked the tool to break down all of the securities on this statement by GIC sector, by market cap. We want to include a section on the client's fees. We want the report to look modern and professional. We want a holdings report, and then we want the tool to cite all of its sources. And then in seconds, guys, we're going to see here that was able to be generated just in seconds using natural language. So we've got our asset allocation breakdown, we've got our equity breakdown by GIC sector, by market cap, by region. We've got our fee analysis here. We've got our detailed holdings report. The tool, we'll see in a second when we go into the report, we'll see that it's generated a fee analysis for us, and then it's generated some commentary. So that week's worth of work that I would have spent doing over my weekend, I could have just told software what I wanted, and then it could have built it for me. So we've got our nice looking modern GIC sector breakdown. The tool's breaking down all the securities by region. It's even written some commentary for us on some concentration risks. There's a technology overweight in this portfolio. It's broken things down by fees. It's broken things down by tax loss harvesting opportunities. That was another thing that we put in our prompt. It's given us that detailed holdings report that we asked for, so it's scraped all of the securities off the statement, and then it's actually written some commentary for us, and then it's cited its sources. So how cool is that, that just strictly from a natural language prompt, you can build a full portfolio analysis in seconds. Now, it's not just investment commentary and analysis. This thing can model out conceptual things. So my wife and I, we just had a baby boy. His name is Roman. He's 4 months old. Shout out to my wife for allowing me to be here today with a 4-month-old at home. She's the real CEO in our household. So imagine you have a client who calls in and says, "Hey, we're trying to save for college, just had a kid, want to model out the benefits of setting up a 529. All you're going to have to do is pop that context into the tool, and then the tool is going to create that reporting for us. So let me explain what's going on the back end here. There's 3 separate components that work in tandem to create all the plans that you'll see generated by Wavvest. The first one just absorbs context. So it's really thoughtful. It goes out and scrapes data from relevant data sources. We'll see that in a second. The second component is a calculator. So AI doesn't natively know how to do math. You give ChatGPT a really complex equation, and it's never seen it before. It's not going to be able to solve it for you. The third agent is where all of the magic happens. So when Diana talks about vibe coding financial plans, that's exactly how we're actually building out our financial plans. You're giving the tool context, and on the back end, it's just writing a bunch of code. It's citing all its sources, but it's writing code to render the plan that you're going to see generated in a second here. So this makes financial planning infinitely flexible. No more blanks, fill in the blanks with legacy clunky financial planning software. Again, we're just telling the tool straight up in natural language, just like you're talking to your associate advisor or your paraplanner, what you want to see built, and then it very thoughtfully builds it out for you. So we've got our 529 college savings plan benefit analysis for my son, Roman. At one point, the tool said congrats, so I appreciate that, Wavvest Planning. The tool is very, very thoughtful, right? So I'm in the state of Illinois, and in my prompt, I said that. So it scraped information from BrightStart, which is the plan administrator for 529 plans in the state of Illinois. I also asked the tool to make all the assumptions adjustable. So when it wrote code, it rendered all of the stuff you're seeing here so that all of this plan is very much adjustable. You can show clients on the fly how different assumptions change things. It's got a tax savings analysis. It's even gone out and it's scraped data on tuition, so public in-state versus public out-of-state tuition. It's given us a nice summary we can share with our clients, and then it's very transparent. It cited all its sources. So all of that just from natural language, guys. How cool is that? So it's not just the two kind of things we just walked through. You can do your everyday financial planning in here. So these cool net worth dashboards, you can build things out like this. This thing can absorb a lot of different types of context. It can take in PDFs, it can take in screenshots. We're built on top of Apex, so Apex custodial data will flow into this tool. And then if people are using our client portals and they've plugged stuff in via Plaid, all of the Plaid information will also come in. This thing can scrape revocable trusts, so it's not just investments. This thing can analyze estate plans, even more complex estate plans like GRATs and SLATs and charitable remainder trusts. You can pop a 1040 into this. It'll give you back a bunch of data points off the 1040 and a bunch of observations you can share with your client. You can do conceptual things like modeling out the benefits of direct indexing. We've got a Roth conversion calculator in there. You can do college planning. There's a whole bunch of really cool stuff you can do with this tool. The only limit to this tool is your own imagination. So before we wrap up here, I want to say that at Wavvest, we're not just another point solution. We're a fully baked out platform. In addition to the planning tool you saw, we've got a whole bunch of asset management functionality built around our planning stack, and then we're building the full stack around that. So CRM, more agentic AI capabilities. So if you want to sign up to use Wavvest Planning, go to www.wavvest.com, pop into the tool. We'd love to have you. And while we're out here in Huntington Beach, please come by and say hello. We'd love to have a chat. Thanks so much. Enjoy your time.
Awesome job. Super cool tool, super cool brand. Love a good brand. All right, up next.